Southeastern Termite and Pest Control, Certified Carpet Cleaners, Certified Restoration, and Hornet Vision 38355. Here today on a Friday again. Good to be back on a Friday with Coach Scott Stedham here. And Coach, this is much more excited to do this week rather than last week.
Absolutely. We're always in a much better mood after a win the week before.
Yeah, no kidding. And I'm sure, Coach, it's probably pretty obvious to you and to the people at home that I've been working out the past 2 days. But I want to tell you I'm pretty sore. Is that something that we do during the season? Do the guys still work out every day like they used to, or is it more running plays and stuff like that in practices?
We do. We lift 3 days a week, and we don't do quite as much as we do, probably about 60% of what we do during the winter. So we're just trying to maintain strength because it's a long season. If you don't lift from July until the end of the playoffs, then it's a long time taking time off. So we do lift to maintain our strength, and then we'll hit it really hard in January again.
Well, I tell you what, it's 14 years is a long time to take off too. So
yeah.
I'm paying for that. Anyway, all right. Well, it's one of the things is it's funny how much smarter you are as a coach after we have a win, versus a loss. But what all was different last week?
Well, our kids played really well with a lot of emotion, and they just had fun playing football again. It's what we tried to get them to do. And what was I thought the neatest part was we got behind, and our kids didn't panic. We're behind by 11, and you just feel a different sense on the sideline that they knew they could win and come back. So, the kids just played really well. We had a great week of practice leading up to it, and then they didn't allow negative plays to influence the next one. And if we continue to do that, we got a chance to be pretty good.
Yeah, I agree completely. Barring injury, are we looking at Colton Lowry to finish the season for us at quarterback, or is every position still up for grabs?
Sure, we compete every day, and whoever's going to give us the best chance to win, we're going to put them out there. But we just feel like Hayden is playing so well defensively that he can help us over there, and we got a lot of kids playing a lot now. After last week, we roll in a lot of new kids on special teams and everything. So I don't know what's going to happen tonight, let alone the rest of the year.
Sure.
But our plan is to go with it and then see what happens. We always start with a rotation of a plan at different positions, and then we do whatever gives us a chance to adjust during the game. Right.
Well, and I agree with that. It's something Chris and I talked about in the pregame last week before the USJ game was what an advantage Hayden will have now being on defense after, being the quarterback to start the season, because, who knows an offense better a lot of times than a quarterback. So that's I think everything worked smooth. I think Colton looked good, and I think Hayden looked good as well. A question that I have, and you kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier, why do we look more physical sometimes more than others? And to kind of follow up on that, what are we? Are we a finesse and scheme-based team, or are we, or can we be one of those physical juggernauts? What are we as a team?
Well, we're always going to start off being physical, and we practice hard-nosed. I think some people mistake just because you're in the shotgun that you're a finesse team, and we want to be tough, hard-nosed, but we also use scheme, and we're going to take what the defense gives us sometimes, and we also have the ability to do some different things finesse-wise. And a lot of that depends on who you're playing. When they just come out and hit you in the mouth, and so there's some teams that they're going to be physical no matter what.
Right.
We feel like we have the ability with our offense and defensive schemes to adjust and take what the opponent gives you, because you can't stop everything all the time. But
Sure.
But we always want to be physical. The football is a blocking and tackling game, and you can drop all the coolest X's and O's in the world, but you got to hit somebody, and we teach that from day one in our program.
Right. Well, I tell you, we've got a tough. Speaking of physical, we got a tough game tonight against my alma mater, against Crockett County. They've got a really good defense from everything I've heard. What do you think? Can we run on them, or is this going to be a game where we have to throw a lot? Or
Sure. Well, they are really good. They're really good everywhere, but defensively, I think they've in their 5 wins, they've given up 3 touchdowns. So they're pretty good. And then they held Dyersburg to 28, who's averaging 50-something points a game.
Yeah.
So defensively, they're outstanding. we've got a plan going into it. We need to be able to run the ball, but we also need to be. We feel like being balanced is our best bet.
Sure.
And we threw the ball better last week, and that opened up some of the running games. So we've got to be able to do both and keep them off balance some, and maybe throw on running downs and run on passing downs. But we still feel like if we can. They make us one-dimensional, it's hard to beat anybody.
Right. Well, you're right about that. At this point of the season, Coach, I know it's kind of the last point of the season, right before the playoff push. What are we looking to improve on the most? Is there one thing that sticks out in your mind that you see, or what?
I don't know. We got a lot better last week and played really well, and it's just little things that can help us. Taking care of the football is obviously huge for us. When we've had turnovers in games have been big, and then avoiding giving up big plays defensively. Those are the things that have hurt us in our losses. And as long as we take care of it and make teams have to drive the football field and not give up a big play, we have a chance. But our kids, they've been really fun to coach, and they come to practice to work. We've had a great week of practice, and you're going to always get better when you have great weeks of practice. So hopefully we'll be ready to go tonight.
I tell you what, I hope so too. Of course, you know Chris Smith. He's my broadcasting partner. Not near as talented as I am out there, but he's still there nonetheless. How close are you guys as a coaching staff to letting Chris and I come to some of the meetings?
Oh, it's really close. You wouldn't believe how close it is.
Well, you just let us know because we're ready. We'll free our schedules up.
All right. Well, hey, we'll be meeting tomorrow morning if you want to come on by, but it's pretty early.
Well, it may not work then. From Hornet Vision 38355, this is Chuck Walker here with Coach Stedham. Go Hornets.